Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is time for Game 2 here in the winners match of Group C. Busy versus Julia once again, with Busy up 1-0 in this best of 3.
Yeah, that was definitely a quick start out the gates for Busy right there. Julia, he looked a little bit dangerous. His strategy came in a little bit out of the blue for Busy, but it didn't look too much like a problem. It's funny when that kind of happens. His strategy kind of came off, but it just doesn't really seem to work the way he wanted it to. And Busy, he never even had to defend his natural, did he?
Julia went for the lurkers with the fake spire, but didn't use it that aggressively. He just did like a defensive 3-edge lurker opening, which is not bad in itself, but then he did that catastrophic hold lurker at his third. Lost the lurkers, only killed 2 Marines, and then immediately lost the third base. I mean, from then on, he was really far behind.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was an okay idea, but then he just, like, took a risk there with the lurkers that maybe wasn't really worth it.
No, I don't feel like it was. Busy's Marines were just so spread out at that point. The stop lurkers were just completely ineffectual, and actually it worked out way more in Busy's favour because it was like he'd done the Marine run-by trick. So he didn't even have to do anything, so it was perfect. His Marines were perfectly spread. I don't know what more he could have possibly
I think Julia also wasn't manually target firing. I noticed the last 2 shots on the lurkers went different directions, which you can't have. You have to have them shoot the same way, so they 2-shot the Marines. Otherwise you get all the healing going on, and it just doesn't work. I mean, every time you see the Koreans do it, like on Snipeball, they always will be manually right-clicking all the lurkers everywhere. But that's alright, because he can still make a comeback here against Busy. It is not over yet. We are now going on to Andromeda for game number 2. And third game, if necessary, of course, will be on Fighting Spirit. But yeah, Andromeda TVZ. What do you think about that again? You were just telling me how Andromeda is a pretty old map.
Yeah, it's a bizarre map. I feel like to have in the map pool. It's got, for anyone who doesn't know it, because some people actually might not have played Andromeda here. I think it's been around like 6 years, something like that. So even older than Fighting Spirit. It's got this kind of mineral only thing going on in the main, which can be a little bit deceptive for players. I don't really know quite who it favours in TVZ. I'm not quite sure. Oh, look at that. It's been around since 2008.
2008,
so,
yeah, not as old as I
5
thought.
Years. Not too bad.
But it is 5 years. That was good.
Yeah, that was
good.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, so it can be a little bit of a funny one. And that mineral only can lead players into slightly peculiar positions, as we've already seen in this tournament. I believe last week it was.
Yeah.
Because it can make you feel like you've got an extra base there in your main base, and you bank on it a little bit too much, and then it's not all it should be. Especially in the matchup we last saw, it was PVZ, and so you really hunger for the gas more than you hunger for the minerals, so it's not quite so relevant. But but dropship play again could be quite strong on this map. There is of course 2 island bases as well, which I feel gets neglected an awful lot on Andromeda. You rarely see people take those island bases.
Yeah, it's really only like when the Protoss goes for the Say Reaver, and then you can start taking it easily. I guess in PvT you can take it, but yeah, it's generally like a late game thing. Nobody focuses on the early game. Like, people need to do stuff like they used to do on Lost Temple, where like the Terran build would be build a really early command center and just float it to the island. Like that was your strategy. Oh man, that was good times. I even remember doing that like maybe only like a year or so ago, when I think IC Cup was down for maintenance. I was like, okay, so I went on Battle.net to play a game, and I played a melee game on Lost Temple. That's exactly what happened. The guy went like fast 3 command center. Unfortunately for him, I was 10-15 gating, and that went badly.
He's probably just been on Battle.net doing that since 1999.
Yeah, exactly. He just, walled in, 1 fact, 3 command center. I got 10-15 gated. Oh man,
that's insane.
Yeah, I didn't even realize what happened until I saw the replay either, because the command center already floated away.
I like that when someone gets away with a secret strategy, you beat them, and then you're like, when you actually watch your replay.
Like, oh, that's a pretty good strategy. Oh. Anyway, so yes, let's go on to game number 2 here on Andromeda. Alright, here we go at the bottom left position as the purple Zerg. We have Julia, and Julia is actually asking Tupac to stay. Apparently, he doesn't think Tupac is Peruvian.
We're having a little bit of a pissing war here. One guy says it is, one guy says it isn't. Julia claiming that the lag.
Oh no, Julia!
Oh no!
Liar.
This is so BM. This is so rude.
Oh
This is unbelievable.
Oh,
He's literally calling out his opponent in the replay. And the problem is we're in a replay, so we can't even tell.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's fine for me, Elegant. I'm not lagging.
It's alright.
Are you lagging?
I don't know. I don't seem to be. No, it's alright. Stick on extra high just to make sure. But
yeah, let's go extra high just to make Julia feel better.
There you go, Julia.
Hey!
Extra high, just like you wanted. So it seemed like Julia's kind of making some strange excuses because he didn't seem to lose because of crippling lag last game or questionable muta micro or anything like that, did he?
Yeah, he didn't make mutas. So I don't know what the problem is. What the problem is, Julia? You didn't make mutas.
Incredibly rude for
Maybe that's why he didn't make mutas. Maybe that's why he went 3-hatch lurker.
Maybe.
Because it was lagging.
Maybe.
You know? It's like you should never 2-hatch muta against a Peruvian. Right? That's just not a thing.
It's a given. In the same way you should never Nexus first against Peruvian. You just don't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By the way, since we were messing with latency and talking about BattleNet, did you ever have games where like people just didn't understand what latency settings were?
I had that the other day.
Right? I mean, you turn it on extra high, they're like, no, set it to low, it makes less lag. You're like, no, it doesn't. That's not what it means.
Yeah. And they're like, guys are like, no, extra high is better.
Yeah.
And you're like, why do you think it's better? And they go, well, just because then it'll never lag. It doesn't lag now, do you know? And they think there's no disadvantage to it. They think it changes nothing. They don't notice that the units take literally about a second to respond to your whim, which does not sit well with me, I tell you. I like the obedient unit.
Yeah.
People, eh? God. The people you have to deal with. People calling you a liar, people calling you a hacker.
Yeah. Well, getting called a hacker is good though, because that means you're just good. Well, as long as you're not actually hacking, right? If you're not hacking and you get called a hacker, that's basically them telling you you're really good.
Exactly. Half the time I like to say, I'm on stream. The irrefutable proof. Yeah,
well, the weird thing is that's not even irrefutable because apparently, like in SE2, some people streamed while hacking and you could just see it. They'd be like map hacking and looking around in the fog of war, and then you could see it on the stream. You're like, what the hell?
What?
Yeah, people did that.
That's actually really, really stupid.
Yeah,
that's genuinely idiotic.
I'm pretty sure like they got banned by Twitch actually at the end as well.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But it was just pretty funny that they would do that. I'm pretty sure that happened. I hope I'm not making this up. I definitely know some people stream themselves cheating in some way or another.
Yeah, I think I read something about that. That's the weirdest thing to do I can possibly imagine. We have a couple of lings coming in here. They're going to get to the ramp and they might... Oh, there's not enough SCVs out there. It needs to get some SCVs out there right away. That SCV is going to make it home. We're just going to keep it a bit close to the front. And then, yeah, there's definitely going to be enough on the ramp right now. But he might be able to snipe a couple off. Busy. Nice SCV pull right there. Making it out with 15 HP.
Yeah, Busy meanwhile looks like he's doing the same opening he did last game. Whereas Julia has actually gone for the 2-hatch play now. Is he going to go 2-hatch muta? Is he really going to do that if the game supposedly is lagging? Seems like a questionable choice. He could obviously go 2-hatch lurker all in. That'd be kind of fun. But I guess we'll have to see here. Obviously, he doesn't even have a lair yet. He's going to got quite a few minerals. So is he just going to make the 3rd hatchery? I don't quite understand how the mineral gas balance has become like this. Okay, no, he is getting a lair.
It's really skewed, isn't it? He's got quite a lot of extra minerals in the bank. I'm not sure what he's planning to do with those. He is temporarily supply blocked, which is a little bit unfortunate. So that's going to hold him back a bit, but it doesn't look like he's got any immediate plans for it. So you're going to make a 3rd hatchery at the top right? What am I seeing?
Ooh, that is crazy.
What is this?
Ballsy.
So,
ballsy. I like it though. I like that a lot. Eon Zerg actually does this kind of thing. Well, I don't know if he does it anymore, but he did it quite a few times. I think last season of TLS actually in ZBTs, where he would do this. He would do a 2-hatch mid opening, but get his 3rd at a main really, really fast. He didn't do it always cross map though. He sometimes just took the regular main. But yeah, as a Terran, you don't expect it, and there's like basically nothing you can do about it in the early game because as long as the Zerg's on the ball with Zerglings, and then he goes really quick into 2-hatch muta, so he's aggressive anyway. It's like, how do you actually stop it?
Yeah, he's gonna have a hard time even knowing that's happening. That's a really, really weird thing. You just wouldn't quite think of it. So, but Busy had good map awareness last game. So, it could actually happen. And he should be fairly on top of things. So he should be able to tell if there is a base that he doesn't know about. He should be able to see it from the extra numbers of units and low number of drones.
Oh man, we have a den again.
So we do. We have Lurkers happening once again for Mr. Julia, but the SCV is going to make it all the way into the main, and it's going to just instantly scout the Hydralisk den. How did that SCV even get through?
Magic
SCV.
Well, clearly he lagged his way through.
Obviously.
Yeah, right?
And that is what will be said at the end of the game. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guarantee it.
Yeah, so, I'm not sure I like getting that fast third as much if he's not going 2-hatch Muto. I think the way Zerg does it, it makes a lot of sense to me, putting on a lot of aggression to keep it safe.
Yeah.
With the 2-hatch, it's essentially like a 2-hatch Lurker into a fast third, even though he technically got the third base before getting the Lurkers. I still kind of would categorize the build like that. But, you know, he's going to have not a high number of Lurkers, and, I mean, I guess it's still a hidden base, so it's still relatively safe, but seems like an interesting choice. I guess we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, he's getting Overlord speed already. What?
So
Did he get drop already? Or is he getting speed before drop?
I don't know. This is really strange. But yeah, I can only imagine he is going to get drop or has already got drop. I don't know. It's only time will tell, I suppose. Making up a bunch of sunken colonies at the front. He's not. He doesn't actually have any. He doesn't have Lurker Aspect. There you go. Lurker Aspect finally finishes. He cancels one of the colonies. Is that going to backfire on him? These Marines are making their way across. Will the Lurkers finish in time? Maybe not. It's going to be a little bit edgy for Julia right here. Busy lagging his way across the map.
Yep, indeed. Look at those Marines lag. Oh, yeah. Man, they're lagging.
Oh, and the scan goes down. He knows that Julia's weak right now. Is he going to go for it?
He's not sure. I mean, for all he knows, the Lurkers could be 2 seconds from popping, and he doesn't want to commit and risk it all. So he's not going to go for it. He also has only 2 medics, so even without the Lurkers, it'd be tough to break the Sunkens.
That's true.
Meanwhile, we have a few Lings counterattacking here, but oh. So they might grab some random scouting SCV. Nope, he's just gonna go home. And now he's gonna lose his Zerglings.
Yeah, well, almost. Looks like actually most of them are gonna make it out.
Yeah, pretty nice. And looks like +1 is about to finish.
Yeah, top right hand corner base is actually going to be fairly safe quite soon because he's got a decent ramp there, and we're gonna have 2.
Oh, Link's running into main now.
Oh, what?
Nice. Oh, but then the reinforcements come out. Unlucky.
Equally as nice.
Unlucky.
And one of them still makes it busy. He just kind of leaves that one to chill.
Oh, but look, there's 3 more Marines, man. I mean, if these barracks weren't lagging so hard, you know, these Links would have done so much.
Yeah, exactly. It would have done huge and capital damage. Really would have done better, basically. That's what we have to assume. It looks like we had a little bit of action over at Julia's natural expansion. Lurk is pushing Marines back. Those Marines really don't have the numbers to do anything with that. And here we go. We do have drop researching at Julia's natural, so he didn't have it yet, but he's going to have it very soon. We'll see how that plays out for him. He does not have many units, so there's no kind of big drop type situation. But
oh no, 2 Lurkers dying in the middle.
Oh, what?
Is he going to catch that one? Oh, looks like that one barely gets away.
Oh, only
very
just,
close.
Maybe not even still. The Marines are giving chase. It looks like he will just escape. And Busy might actually just go all the way in, but his stim runs out at a very unfortunate moment. I thought he was going to go all the way in there.
That would have been crazy. I don't think that would have been a good idea, but it was cool that he, you know, even indicated that he might try that.
Does he think that drop is a possibility? Look at these missile turrets.
I think he definitely is aware. Oh man, yeah, that's right. That's perfect missile turrets. I don't know if he imagined that speed would be done already. I really hope that Julia was careful and didn't show Overlord speed, because obviously that would be a huge tell of what was going on.
He hasn't shown it yet anywhere. I don't know where he really would have. And look at this, Busy with some super map sense. Going to scout the top right hand corner, and he's aware of that. But meanwhile, we do have a drop that's loaded up and is heading over to the bottom right hand corner now. Those missile turrets going to see the Overlords, but it won't be in time to actually take them down before they get in. And Busy has very little, actually nothing. He has a couple of sea shanks and a group of Marines back at home. Might just have enough to clean up these 3 Lurkers, and he'll see them on the way in now, and he will know what's up, and will presumably move all the.
Oh, he's targeting the same Overlord, and it gets killed before the Lurker comes out. So 1 Lurker falls inside the Overlord. 2 Lurkers still coming in here. The Marines coming down to stop it. Where's the scan? There's the scan, and it looks like Busy with a good Marine split. Oh my goodness.
Very nice.
Wow.
Very nice indeed.
Sick defense. He lost 1 Marine for 2 Overlords and 3 Lurkers.
Yeah, and he's able to throw down another missile turret and call it safe. And he's rumbled the top right hand corner base as well. So all in all, you got to say, Busy pretty on top of this game. And here goes the dropship now up to the top right hand corner. It's going to be spotted by 1 Zergling as it makes its way past, but I don't know what Julia's going to be able to do about it. He's got 2 Lurkers only, and a Hydra is defending up there. And of course, he's supply blocked as well, only just getting out of supply block. But of course, any Nihilist tech is way away. His hive has not even started yet, so that base is going to be impossible to defend. He's going to lose all those drones around there. Oh no, Julia is in so much trouble. Looks like he's going to lose his 3rd base again, and we can see how that ended up for his last game.
Oh, here we go. Dual anti-lurker micro. Boom. Taking him down. So Julia now is basically dead. Hey! The good old Peru League. See, I told you.
What does that even mean?
He's just recommending that that Busy switch teams to Lag Free.
Yeah, I suppose. It's so rude. Julia is not a happy bunny. Getting quite badly whipped in game 2 right there by Busy. His strategy's really just not paying off at all. Once again, he kind of got away with the hidden base up to a certain point, as far as he could. But Busy just completely called the drop. It did nothing, and it makes me a bit sad to think that was basically what Julia was relying on, a 3 lurker drop. Seems to be a bit of a tenuous hold for the game to hinge on, really.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that he did both the hidden base and the 2-hatch lurker drop, but then he got speed first. He didn't just go straight for the slow drop first.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's funny. These 2 games, I think, also partially showcase why nowadays very few Zergs open with lurkers and ZBT. In like the level of Marine Micro nowadays is just a little bit too high. With low numbers of lurker ling, you just can't really do anything against the competent Terran.
Yep.
And it's really interesting, what that essentially means is mechanics have fundamentally changed the strategy of the game. I mean, that's one of the beauties of Brutal, right?
Yeah.
This is a mechanical difference. The micro now is way better than 5 years ago, and so the strategy you choose has to be completely different because the old strategy just can't work, right?
It's pretty insane.
I mean, it's not fair to say it can't completely, but it's much harder.
Yeah, and that's an example of quite how wrong it can go. It can look really, really bad. Julia just completely, basically crashed and burned there in those 2 games. Busy was just all over it. Really, really convincing play.
Really, really good. So that means Busy will advance from the group 2-0, not dropping a single game. He is going to join our 4 other players in the round of 8. But we still have to find out who will be the second player to advance from the group. So we're going to go to a quick break and come back for the losers match between Oxzerg and Lancer X.
Don't go anywhere.